It's first pitch with the Prez. It's Wednesday, a dark day for me. I'll explain in a second. Tony's already laughing. And we actually have a workable amount of baseball games to talk about. We only discuss games after 7, although we can talk the 6:35 games. I don't have a problem with that. Tony, how are you, my brother?
I'm doing well, other than it was kind of dark for me. It wasn't quite as dark for me as you, but 1-2 yesterday night, and Oklahoma City disappointed me considerably last night. So as you as well, I saw. So
Well, I got to tell you, man, I had as bad a night as I can ever have. I mean, I'm reeling, Tony, and I don't know what to do about it. I take it so badly, I can't even begin to tell you. I mean, I fell asleep at 4 a.m. last night. I went
yeah,
0 and 5 in my hockey plays last night. 0 and 5. I had the over in the Pittsburgh game. I kid you not. It was 1-1, 3 minutes into the hockey game. And it didn't go over 5.5. I had over 6.5 in the San Jose game. One team got me 5. I still couldn't get it done.
yeah.
I had Tampa Bay. I cannot believe this Tampa Bay team just got swept. But anyway, dude, listen, there are a few dark days a year, and they're usually followed up with a nice run. We call them bottom out days, right? Where you
Yes,
just
yes.
bottom out and the worst of the worst has happened. So let's hope that was yesterday, because I got another card up for today, including a 5% play in the NBA. But I'll tell you, everybody, my NBA is doing fine, my baseball is doing fine, but don't buy my NHL. Let me turn it around in private, please.
Listen, it's a good lesson for all of you out there watching this video. Those kind of days, if you don't experience them, then you never appreciate what it takes to win in this business and how important money management is.
Well, and how humbling this business
yeah,
is.
absolutely.
I mean,
Without,
last year I was like, what, close to 70% in the NHL playoffs. This year I'm pushing 7.
yeah.
Okay,
Well, not that bad.
yeah.
But.
Anyway, nobody wants to listen to me talk about this stuff, so let's get into it. We've got 7 or 8 games on tap today. We start with the 6:35 Eastern game, the New York Yankees versus Boston. You were on the show yesterday on Morning Joe. You gave out the Yanks. You released it also to your clients.
Yes.
And here they are again, a favorite, minus 123. The over and under is 9. Boston lost their last 2 games, 3 of their last 4. The Yankees aren't faring much better, brother. They've lost 5 of their last 7 games. You've got Eovaldi, who is currently a disaster
Yes.
against Hap, who also is really bad. The over and under here is 9, and both these teams can hit the ball all over the park. Explain to me why this game is going to go under, because I see the over here.
Well, I wouldn't say that it was going to go under I wouldn't say that for 1 minute. I would say this. I will say that, as I spoke to yesterday, Boston can't hit. They can't pitch. They are a disaster right now. And this is an aberration to some degree. The Yankees are typically a left-handed heavy lineup because of that right field porch in Yankee Stadium. But this team is much more right-handed heavy than in years past. In fact, so much more. It's such an aberration. It's rarely been spoken to, but it's just the truth. Yesterday, Sale showed again that he's not right. He can tell you all day he's healthy, he's not healthy, and what Paxton was able to do, a left-hander against this Boston. Boston's always struggled, Lawrence, against left-handed hitting. They did last year. You much prefer them with the right-handed pitcher. And tonight you got a pretty strong wind blowing from right to left field. Right-handed heavy Yankees. I'll take Hap right now over Eovaldi. I'll take any pitcher right now over Boston. For what you're paying for Hap, $120 tonight, you have to go with the Yankees, in my opinion.
He's Tony Finn. I'm the Prez. Both of us found at WagerTalk.com. Buster Sports, our number one NHL handicapper this year, over 100% return on his money. For clients, he has a 5% play in hockey tonight. Head over to WagerTalk.com and check it out. Seattle, my brother, they're on a losing streak. They're on a major skid right now. They lost last night to Cleveland 4-2. They lost the night before 4-2. Cleveland's won their last 2 games. Seattle has lost their last 5. They're a short dog tonight at 115. The over and under is 7.5. But look, Carrasco is on the mound. That should be scary, but this year hasn't been Carlos of old. He's playing against Swanson, his first start. Where are we going in this game, brother?
I'll just give it away right now. I really don't be deceived by what Carrasco's done or what Swanson is or might be. Muchalinsky is the umpire in this game, and he has arguably the largest strike zone in Major League Baseball. He's a no-nonsense guy, very religious guy, no-nonsense guy who these players know not to talk back. He calls all the edges, high, low, and both these teams are, listen, Seattle came out of the gates gunning, okay? And they're really in rebuild mode, especially offensively. They got a bunch of veterans that occasionally will hit, but this time of year at Safeco Field in Seattle, it's tough to hit the ball out of the park. I really like with Muchalinsky and Carrasco and Swanson, that combination. I like the fact you got a 7.5 in an American League game.
Detroit, Pittsburgh, 8-8 Detroit versus 9-6 Bucks. Detroit's minus 105, Pittsburgh's minus 115. The over and under is 8.5. There are some 8s on the board. Pittsburgh just beat them 5-3. The Bucks have won their last 2. Detroit reeling, but we expected that, Tony. This is not a good Detroit team.
No,
they've lost 4 in a row. Their last 2 games have gone over the total, and that's surprising because Detroit has started the season 5-11 to the over. Low number tonight, 8.5. There's a couple of 8s. Detroit's just got no pitching whatsoever. I can't bet unders in these Detroit games, but they don't have a lot of hitting either. This is a tough one from a total perspective for me, but I see no reason why Turnbull can turn it around for Detroit, and I lean towards the Bucks.
This is the reason the money line's 105, or 110, 115, whatever the case may be, whatever book or shop you participate with or partake in. It's a toss-up. Both pitchers are not trustworthy. Detroit started out pretty well with some good pitching performances against some soft offenses. So it's a game that as soon as I see Williams and Turnbull and I see this total and I see Pittsburgh and Detroit, I push it aside and move on.
So pass for Tony in this game. Guys, remember to check out WagerTalk.com. You can find both Tony and I there, and Tony is absolutely killing it in baseball this season. I had a tough loss last night on Atlanta. Well, Tony, I don't want to talk about last night anymore, but here's the great news, dude. After I picked my plays last night and I sent them to you, my friend came by, and as of today, I have glasses.
What kind of glasses are they?
They're for reading, and they're also for coming up with winners.
Oh, well, that's good because I refuse. I need, at this point in my life as well, I need some reading glasses, but I refuse to buy them. And why? Because it means I have effing surrendered to my age. And I refuse to do it.
I got these glasses a month before my 50th birthday, and I'll tell you something, it's a game changer, brother.
Okay, well,
I had no idea there were 2 people in the pornos I was watching.
Yes. Yeah.
Now I'm like, wow, they're naked.
If you could see me strain to look at my phone sometimes. That's the worst. When I'm trying to read a text or read something
Yeah,
small.
go get
Yeah,
him, dude. Go get
yeah,
him.
yeah.
It's actually, I look at this and I'm like, wow, everything's magnified. And then my amazing, incredible Vivian says, no, they're not magnified. They're just now normal.
Yeah, yeah. Surrender. Time to surrender. All right.
Washington 7-8 against San Fran 8-10. San Fran put up a 7 spot yesterday. I don't think we're going to see them do that more than 3 or 4 times this season. They've won 4 of their last 5 games, and they are a road dog tonight at plus 110 with an 8.5 total. We expect better from Washington than that. They've lost their last 2, 3 of their last 4 games. Hellickson's on the mound, 2.25 ERA and only 8 innings pitched, but Samardzija had a great start to this season. I mean, I lean on the under here, Tony. I mean, that's right. Even with Washington's really strong lineup, I think San Fran blew their load last night, and I don't think they're going to put up more than 2 tonight.
Normally I would not trust the under, but in tonight's situation, you have Jeff Nelson behind the plate, big strike zone. You have a strong, about a 10-mile-an-hour wind blowing in from right center. Hellickson, his last start was promising. His ERA is promising because he has gotten a lot more a higher ground ball percentage than is typical from him. He's a fly ball pitcher. But a fly ball pitcher tonight in Nationals Park is advantageous. Samardzija is going to be on a pitch count coming off that shoulder surgery. So, and you can't trust Hellickson. But tonight I would agree with you. I think if you're going to play this game, then you play the under.
Tampa Bay 5-11 to the under this year. 5 overs, 11 unders. Baltimore 11 overs and 7 unders. And I think riding the over in Baltimore might be a good plan. This has got a triple-A pitching rotation. And there are some hitters on Baltimore. 8.5 is the total. Tampa Bay is a massive minus 270. They got it done yesterday, 4-2 against Baltimore. Baltimore has lost a lot of games, brother. 6 of their last 8. They're a really bad team. Tampa Bay has won their last 2 games and 5 of their last 7. And they're getting it done money-wise as well, Tony. Yeah. Usually teams that are 13-4, et cetera, don't actually get it done on the money. And we saw that with Boston and New York last year. But Tampa Bay is already up 7.82 units on the season. I cannot bet anything in the minus 270 range at all. The over and under is 8.5. That's a fat pass all around for me.
Yeah, if you're going to play in a Baltimore baseball game right now, you're playing either on Baltimore or you're not playing, because you cannot with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's climbed in the futures charts as far as what people expect of this team and what people believe this team can do, and it's come from pitching. Stanek, this Stanek's a good pitcher, and that's why he's minus 250. He throws some heat, and Tampa's going to win with pitching. They're not going to win with hitting this year. But anytime I see Baltimore now, either I'm taking a stab at Baltimore or I'm just passing.
Chicago Cubs, they're playing Miami today. Cole Hamels on the mound. Miami 4-14 on the season. Just a terrible, terrible baseball team. They lost 4-0 yesterday. They're a plus 135 dog tonight. The Cubs are minus 160. And, I spoke about this yesterday with Teddy. There's no chance I can bet on Miami. I think they might be the worst team in baseball. And the Cubs have put a little nice run together. They've won 4 of their last 5, both games against Miami. But Miami, Tony, there's just no chance I can bet on them. And I don't want to lay 160 on the Cubs. And even with the total at 8, I don't think Miami is going to put up a whole lot of runs in any given day. So I sit here and I go another pass.
Yeah, when looking at Miami, I do look at them, but I look at them. They have a pitching staff and a bullpen that's capable. They're not much offensively. You're right. They're going to lose 100 games this year. And the Cubs bullpen has been miserable. And Hamels, as good as he is, or as good as he was coming over to the Cubs last year in the second half, this guy's pedestrian as well, fly ball pitcher. But you got a pitcher's park in this game. These two pitchers, Alcantara, I would play under, believe it or not. We've got a wind blowing in, and the umpire is okay. But if you're looking to play every game and you had to pick a proposition for this game, it would be under the total.
He's Tony, and I'm the Prez. You're watching First Pitch. It's up every day, Monday to Friday, at our WagerTalk TV channel on YouTube. Tony, I've been telling everyone bet Atlanta over the total blindly all year. It won last night. They're only 8-7 to the over this year, which means I think we've got a nice overrun coming with Atlanta. And they're playing Arizona, which is regularly an under team, and they're 11-4 to the over. Both teams are up slight money on the season for bettors. Atlanta 9-7, Arizona 8-9. Atlanta's a massive favorite tonight, -167. We have 9 as the total, Tony. And it's Godley versus Guzman. And I'll tell you one thing about Guzman. He was on my fantasy team last year and the year before, regretfully. This guy, once every 4 or 5 starts, pitches a gem. And then in between those gems is an utter disaster. He is an incredibly inconsistent pitcher and a real tough one to get a handle of. No chance I'm taking Atlanta in this spot.
He has, without question, an inconsistent skill set. His move from Baltimore to Atlanta, despite the fact that Atlanta is a pitcher-friendly park now since they've gone from Turner to the new field, SunTrust. But for the most part, Atlanta has issues right now. 2 injuries in the bullpen. Arizona is depending on a closer who's pedestrian at best, and you can't play under. Not in SunTrust, not with these 2 starting pitchers. Godley had a great 2017 last year. He came back to earth, and his big problem is command. So there you go. Over.
And I'm with you, dude. I mean, yeah. As I said, I'll take Atlanta over blindly from start to finish.
There you go. Yeah.
Minnesota 8-6, Toronto 7-11 on the season. Toronto 2 games in a row. A nice one last night, 6-5 win. But Aaron Sanchez ain't on the mound tonight, brother. It's Thornton versus Odorizzi. Yes. I can't get it out of my mouth.
Odorizzi.
Over and under is 9. Minnesota -167. Here's the bottom line for me. It's I can't take 167. It's too high. I still think the Twins will win. It's over or nothing.
Yeah, and you're probably going to everything depends on Thornton in this game. Odorizzi's going to pitch well. He'll pitch consistent, should I say. Hard contact rate a little below league average. So I would agree with you. In this game, Minnesota's going to win. Tough to lay $170.
Texas versus the Angels. Very similar record, Tony. I mean, the Angels are doing bad away from home. 2-8 on the season. Pittsburgh at home is 7-3. Texas shut him down yesterday. The over and under was 10.5. Texas put up a 5 spot, and LA put up a 0. Sounds very similar to the Vegas Knights San Jose Sharks game, if you ask me. Texas -130. It's typical 10.5, always 10.5 when they're playing in Texas. But here's the bottom line for me. I think this might be the spot to take the dog. I think they're going to be very live tonight. I know Matt Harvey's had a terrible, terrible start to the season. But my gut feel says LA doesn't get swept and finds a way to pull this one out.
You're going to have to get a better performance. Harvey's fooling nobody. He's still throwing mid-90s, 95, reaching 97. Unfortunately, there's no movement on his fastball anymore, and he's just not fooling people. Texas, Arlington, Globe Life there is not the same, doesn't have the same jet stream. You used to look at Globe Life, you'd see a 50-mile-an-hour wind blowing in from right center. What people didn't understand was the concourse there, it basically created a jet stream that would send it out. They fixed that jet stream, so it's not quite that, but this is a game where you like the Angels. I really like Lance Lynn, who's moved from the National League
Yep.
to the American League, and I this is what I do. Anytime that happens, the first couple of months, there's an adjustment period. Anytime a pitcher's facing a lineup for the first time, he has an advantage the first two times through the order. So you take LA, I'll take Texas.
No. You will take LA with me.
Okay, I'm passing.
No, I'm just kidding with you. 12-5 Houston versus 10-10 Oakland. Oakland at home -110. The over and under is 9. Houston just beat them 9-1. Tony.
Yes.
And Oakland's lost their last 2 games in a row. Houston is on an absolute run. 10 games in a row. Miley versus Montez.
Yes.
Both pitchers are pitching okay, mediocre. Over and under in this game is 9. Where are you going?
Well, you just outlined a pretty good scenario of where these two teams are as far as talent and form. What's the money line in this game?
I turned it off and already pulled up the NBA for my show with Ralph.
It was more of a rhetorical question. Oakland -110. Why? Because Montez is got some talent, and you have to look at this. When you look at something like this and it jumps you got a Houston team that's expected to run away with this division. You got an Oakland team that's in rebuild, really in rebuild as well. Although they've played well, you're supposed to really like Oakland here, Montez. Especially the odds makers are begging you right now to take Houston.
He's Tony Finn. I'm the Prez. Tony, thanks so much, brother. First pitch in the bag. We will see you next week for both Morning Joe and First Pitch. You're the best. I love having you on.
I'm headed to the studio. We got studio today, so
you'll be doing a whole lot of videos today. Good luck. Have fun and enjoy, brother.
Okay, good luck tonight, buddy.